Brian Goulet of the Goulet Pen Company and InkNouveau.com. I have a special treat for you here. I have a stainless steel Lamy 2000 that I'd like to show off. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'll compare it to the other 2000 because I've got one of those and I use that pretty much on a regular basis. So let's check it out. This is the stainless steel Lamy 2000. Brand new. It's actually not even released yet as of when I'm shooting this video. I got a pre-production sample and was lucky enough to be able to play around with it and take some nice pictures and stuff. The box is different than the other box. I actually don't have the other box with me, but that's okay. The box is nothing that fancy. This one is kind of cool. It opens up. The really expensive Lamy pens have this box that kind of opens like this. It's still just a cardboard box. It's not all the appeal, but anyway, it comes with some stuff here describing the guy that made it and how it kind of works by picture and so on. And then it's got like a warranty card in here basically saying we guarantee this pen will be awesome. And the pen itself seats nicely on top of a microfiber-ish cloth. I don't know if it's microfiber. It's some kind of polishing cloth, sort of like the thing you use to polish your eyeglasses. This comes with some of the higher-end Lamy pens, like the Platinum Studio, I think, and the maybe the Platinum CP1 as well. But anyway, if you spend a lot of money, you get this little thing. But here's the pen. It's pretty blingin', pretty shiny. I was actually, when I initially heard they were going to release a stainless steel Lamy 2000 and I saw the list price was $375, I was kind of like, oh my gosh, what are they thinking? That's such an expensive pen. It's such a jump from the other pen. The other pen lists for $195. Ends up selling street price around $156 on the internet. So to jump up to a pen that's going to have a street price of about $300, that's twice the price just for a different material. Essentially, is it really going to be worth it? Well, I got to say, I'm not going to say that it's going to be worth it for everybody, but this pen is definitely nicer than I had anticipated it being. It's much heavier. I've actually got a Lamy 2000, Makrolon version that I use on a regular basis. I carry this around with me and use it a lot. It has a stainless steel grip section on it, so I was kind of envisioning what the full pen would look like in the stainless steel. But the stainless steel on this Lamy 2000 is actually a little bit rougher. The brushing is a little bit deeper than it is on this one. Which I thought was interesting, and really you're not even going to be able to tell very much probably in pictures, and maybe in the video I'll try to get it across. I have a little experiment here. I've got a 15x loop, and I'm going to try to show you the difference here in the video between the grip sections on these two. So let's give this a shot. Pretend you're me looking through my loop. Okay, there we go. So you're looking at, this is the Makrolon stainless grip section. The Lamy 2000. There's the Makrolon, and there's the grip section. You can actually see some of my blue ink still on there, but you can see kind of how deep the brushing is there. Now, granted, it's actually not deep at all. It just looks deep because you're looking at it at 15 magnification, and then you can see by comparison the stainless steel Lamy 2000. So let me go back. There's the other one. And then there's the stainless Lamy 2000. So that hopefully will at least give you some basic idea of what you can expect in terms of touch. It's really not going to make a difference too much in the appearance. It might, the brushing on the original Lamy 2000 is more like the stainless steel Studio. If you've seen the Lamy Studio with the stainless steel brush, it really gives kind of an interesting effect to it because it's brushed so deeply. This one is not brushed as deep. It gives it kind of like a matte look. It's not super, super glossy, shiny, but it feels much smoother than this does. So anyway, that's about all I could go on all day about that. But there are some other subtle differences between the two. Well, one that's not so subtle is there's no ink window. There is an ink window and I've got blue ink in here, so it's hard to see. But there is an ink window here on the original 2000. The stainless does not have an ink window. So that's one compromise, and that's one of the biggest drawbacks of the higher priced Lamy 2000. One of the other changes, which is very subtle, is on the cap. Now the original Lamy 2000 has the word Lamy written right there on the side of the clip, and the other one, the newer one, does not have anything written on the side of the clip. It has it engraved here on the back of the top of the cap. The overall design on the rest of the pen is identical, except that you've got some differences here. Like there's a stainless steel insert here on the back end of the pen on the Makrolon version, and it's just got a little bit different brushing on the stainless steel one. So it's just sort of emulates that look, but it's already stainless steel, so they just brushed it a little differently. And then the clip itself, same design. They're both spring clip, so if you push on the back of it, it opens up a little bit, makes it easier to get it on and off your shirt pocket. So that is the same on both pens, but the clip finish itself is different. This one is shiny and this one is matte. So this one is actually platinum coated, and this one appears to just be stainless steel. The nib on both pens is the same. It's a 14 karat platinum coated nib, and the pen disassembles the same way. Now I normally don't recommend disassembling the pen, especially the piston mechanism. I personally have taken it apart once, and I'll never do it again because it was kind of nerve-wracking. So but the grip section does come apart, and if you're careful with it, this can help you when you're cleaning and maintaining your pen. The nib itself is a hooded nib, which means that a lot of it's covered up by the grip section of the pen. And if you very gently just kind of take and push, don't grab the end of the nib, but grab kind of the base of it and just push on it a little bit, it'll kind of pop right out there. It's just friction fit inside this grip section. And very carefully pull it out, and voila, there is the nib and feed of a Lamy 2000. Now, you'll probably recognize this shape because this is the shape that most of the Lamy nibs are in. It's not the exact same, so don't go thinking you're going to swap out, this nib on a regular Lamy Vista or something. It's not the same, but it just kind of looks similar. But anyway, so there's the design of that, and if you're trying to clean the thing out really thoroughly, a stubborn ink, you can pull that out and make it a little easier at your own risk, of course. I'm not speaking as an official Lamy representative or anything like that, but just as an enthusiast here. So, but you see inside the grip section there, it's got kind of a moon shape, like a half moon shape. And that's the way that the pen needs to fit in there, because the nib is kind of shaped like that. So when you're putting it back in, you can't just go cramming it in any way you want. You got to be really careful to align it properly and not scrape the living crud out of the nib when you're trying to get it back in there. So you can kind of see it poking in. And there is also a little line here on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that runs on the inside of that grip section that needs to line up to this channel right here on the bottom. That's also to kind of help align the nib properly. So if you are trying to cram it in there and you're getting a lot of resistance, that means you're doing it wrong and you need to stop it and pull it out and try again. So if you do it right, then it should just kind of fit nicely back in there. You just give it a gentle little push and it'll hold in place well enough. And then when you reassemble the pen, it will be okay. Now there is this little trim ring here that these are the little ears that hang on the body of the pen to the cap. It's really easy when you're taking this thing apart to accidentally pop this thing off, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to lose that. I think Lamy USA sells replacement parts. Retailers are not allowed to sell, or it's not made available to retailers, I guess, to sell replacement parts. So just try not to lose that thing. But anyway, then to reassemble it, all you do is screw it back together, and voila. So there you go. And now those little dog ears, that's grips on to the inside here. You probably can't see it super well, but there's a nice ring on the inside that that grabs onto it, and it gives a nice little click. Let's see. There you go. Nice little click, and it's on there. The pen itself is postable, just like the other Lamy 2000. It's got some metal springs in there that kind of grip onto the pen. You can probably see them in there. It's got some nice metal springs that kind of run lengthwise with the cap. and it fits on there, and it's pretty secure. So I definitely would feel confident writing with it. Now, the pen is a good deal heavier. The overall weight of the Makrolon Lamy 2000 is about 25 grams. This Mama Jamma is 54 grams, so it's more than twice the weight, which, you know, the thing is stainless steel, so yeah, it's going to be heavier. So if you like light pens, you definitely will hate this pen, but if you like heavy pens, you know, go for it. The body of the pen, if you want to, you know, lighten up the weight a little bit, is about 34 grams, so that makes it a little easier. But me personally, I don't mind a heavy pen. I kind of like it. It definitely makes it feel substantial. The way the pen fills is the same as the other Lamy 2000. It's a piston filler. I've got a bottle of Lamy ink here. What's more appropriate? So this particular pen is a medium nib. So to fill it, you unscrew the back end of the pen. It separates right there and it's threaded. The mechanism is all inside. It appears to be the same mechanism from the other pen, so same incapacity and everything. But you immerse the pen up until it passes this hole. That's the filler hole. So you need to, if you just stick the tip of the nib in there, you're not going to be doing much. So you got to get that hole completely immersed in the ink. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then I just screw it so that it, you know, kind of reassembles the pen back in there. And I'm going to do this a couple of times just so I can get, you know, a good solid filling. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now I should be all filled up. I'll just kind of gently wipe the nib. This is Lamy turquoise, by the way. All right. And then I got a nice pad of paper here. Should be pretty easy to get started. There we go. This is a medium nib. Writes very nicely. Lamy 2000. Medium. There we go. So, nice writing pen. I'm a big fan of the Lamy 2000s. The Incapacity, while I have the thing inked up, let me just go ahead and dump it into a vial here, and I'll at least get you a rough measurement. I already kind of did it beforehand, but I'm curious just to see, just on a first filling like this, what you're going to expect. Okay, so that's about all I could get, and I can't show you the exact measurement on there, but it's right at about 1.1, maybe 1.2 milliliters. So that's a pretty good volume. That's you know, more than twice what you're going to get with a standard international cartridge. So it's got a pretty good volume of ink. It is an expensive pen, but you know, stainless steel is an incredibly difficult material to manufacture a pen out of it. I actually kind of spoke with some pen makers, and there's been some discussion about, you know, pens like this that use, you know, really difficult or expensive materials. Are they really worth it? You know, that's going to be up to you. I will say I'm impressed with this pen more than I thought I would be. You know, is it worth a $300 or $375 price tag? That's really going to be up to you. But I personally am a big fan of the Lamy 2000. I use mine very regularly, and if you like a stainless steel pen that has a lot of heft to it, I would definitely give this one a look. Hope you enjoyed my video of the stainless steel Lamy 2000. If you have any questions, you can always shoot me an email at brian@gouletpens.com. Thanks so much, and right on.